Hi students. So NEET 2024 exam complete అయిపోయింది. 24 lakh above స్టూడెంట్స్ రిజిస్టర్ చేసుకున్నటువంటి ఎగ్జామ్ ఇది. ఆల్రెడీ మనం లాస్ట్ వీడియోలో ఈ నీట్ క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్ ఎలా ఉంది అనేది అనాలిసిస్ చేసాం. అందులో ఫిజిక్స్ పార్ట్ పర్టికులర్గా ఎలా ఉంది అనేది. ఫిజిక్స్ పేపర్ లాస్ట్ ఇయర్తో కంపేర్ చేస్తే ఆల్మోస్ట్ ద సేమ్. లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ ఈ ఇయర్ కూడా ఫిజిక్స్ పేపర్ అదే స్టాండర్డ్లో ఉంది. నీట్ ఆస్పిరెంట్స్ ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళకి ఈ పేపర్ అనేది ఓవరాల్గా చెప్పాలంటే ఎంకరేజింగ్ పేపర్ అయి పెద్ద డిఫికల్టీగా అనిపించేటటువంటి పేపర్ అయితే కాదు. ఈ వీడియోలో మనం నీట్ 2024 ఫిజిక్స్ పేపర్ని డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. ఈ ఫిజిక్స్ పేపరు క్వశ్చన్స్ 1 by 1. నేను ఇక్కడ S2 కోడ్ క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్ తీసుకున్నాను. ఆ ఆర్డర్లోనే మనం ఇక్కడ క్వశ్చన్స్ని డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ లాస్ ఆఫ్ మోషన్. ఇది ఒక మీడియం లెవెల్ క్వశ్చన్, నాట్ టూ డిఫికల్ట్. 2 స్టెప్స్లో అంటే 2 పార్ట్స్లో దీన్ని చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. See the first question. A horizontal force of 10 Newton is applied to a block A as shown in the figure. You are given the diagram. Masses of the blocks A and B are 2 kg and 3 kg. 2 kg and 3 kg masses of the blocks. Two kg and 3 kg. They are sliding over a frictionless surface. Here the point is, whatever the surface that is frictionless, there is no opposition for the motion of the blocks on the surface, right? What is the force exerted by block A on block B? There is force applied by A on B, force applied by B on A. We know at the contact between the 2 blocks at this vertical surface, there is the contact. A applies force on B, B applies force on A. That is the contact force. We are asked to find what is that contact force. We have to find the contact force, right? Apply Newton's second law for the system. The net force acting on the system is equal to total mass of the system, that is m1 plus m2, as 2 blocks are there, and acceleration. The total system getting acceleration A under the action of this force. We are given this f value 10. m1 plus m2 means 2 plus 3 into A. You will get A is equal to 10. 10 divided by 5. So, A value 2 meter per second square. This is the acceleration of the system. So, with what acceleration the 2 blocks are moving means, that is say A, that A you are finding 2 meter per second square, right? This is the first part. Finding acceleration is the first part. Coming to the second part, in order to find the contact force, we divide the system into bodies. We divide the system into 2 blocks. Taking free body diagram of A, that is the first mass. While taking the free body diagram of A, that A is this point mass like this, and it is acted upon by F from left to right on A by B. As we know, while representing the free body diagram, we have to see what are the forces acting on the body. On A, what are the forces acting? One is capital F and the other one is contact force F, and the system has acceleration A. Again applying the Newton's second law, net force acting on the block A, F minus F, is equal to, its mass is m1, m1 into A. So, this is 10 minus F you have to find. m1 is given 2 kg. A we got it as, already we found A value, that is 2. So, you will get F is equal to 10 minus 4. So, that F is equal to 6 Newton. So, here you have the answer. So, this is a 2-part problem. Now coming to the next question, nuclei. In this question, number of steps are involved. That's why I have taken this question as a moderate question, medium question. Now in this nuclei, this question is based on nuclear disintegration, successive disintegration are given. Okay. Here X is given 82 and 290, mass number and atomic number. That is for the X nucleus. We are asked to find mass number and atomic number of the product Q. Final product is Q. For that Q, what is mass number and what is atomic number? If you see, this X is emitting alpha. Alpha particle means that is helium nucleus. Alpha particle is nothing but helium nucleus. We know. So 2 He4. When alpha particle is emitted, the resultant nucleus, the daughter nucleus becomes Y. There is a decrease of 2 in atomic number. That means atomic number becomes 80. And the mass number decreases to 286, decreases by 4. Atomic number decreases by 2 and mass number decreases by 4. So you will get another nucleus Y like this. Now this Y undergoing E plus decay. E plus means positive electron. Positive electron is nothing but positron. Antiparticle of electron. Antiparticle of electron is the positron. It is represented as +1 E0 like this. +1 E0. That means while emitting positron, that Y nucleus has a decrease in atomic number by 1 unit, so it becomes 79. No change in the mass number, so 286 remains, that is the nucleus Z. Z is formed with 79 atomic number and 286 mass number. Now the Z is emitting beta minus. Beta minus is nothing but electron. Beta minus is nothing but electron. Electron has symbol -1 E0. So when this P is formed, 79 minus 1 means atomic number is increased by 1. Mass number no change, 286. And this P becomes Q with the release of E minus. E minus is again electron. Beta minus is electron. E minus is also electron. So it is -1 E0 again. So atomic number increases by 1, 81, and mass number remains the same. So final Q has mass number 286, atomic number 81, 286 and 81, you have to see, first option. Coming to next question, it is a theory question, conceptual question. You are given the two statements. It is from semiconductors. It is given from the semiconductors. It is an easy question. It is conceptual question. Already you can find these sentences in NCERT textbook. Direct statements taken. You are given with a graph. It is a graph representing IV characteristics of a diode or an optoelectronic device, solar cell, LED, like that. Okay. So here you are given the statement first. For a solar cell, the IV characteristics lies in the fourth quadrant. So this is the fourth quadrant. In this fourth quadrant, solar cell characteristics, IV characteristics are represented. That is statement given. Actually, in the biasing of a diode, we know forward bias is there, reverse bias is there. Forward bias is represented in the first quadrant, reverse bias is represented in the third quadrant. We know that. Biasing is done by a battery. There is a source battery, external source, external battery. With that battery, biasing is done, and with that biasing, there is a current through the circuit, right? First quadrant, positive voltage, positive current. Third quadrant, negative voltage, negative current, forward bias in the first quadrant, reverse bias in the third quadrant, right. Now coming to solar cell, there is no external battery connected to the solar cell. There is no need of battery at all, no need to connect any external battery. The solar energy taken by the solar cell converts into that electrical energy. That means solar cell drives current through the load in the circuit without any source. The source is sun radiation. There is no external battery like in forward bias and reverse bias. That is why without any external battery or source, as the current is driven in the circuit, it is represented in a fourth quadrant. So that statement, whatever the first statement given, that is correct, correct one. Coming to the second statement, in the reverse bias of PN junction diode, ordinary diode, in the PN junction diode, reverse bias, they are telling about the reverse bias. So in a reverse bias PN junction diode, the current is measured in microamperes. Very small current is there in the reverse bias. That is due to minority carriers, because reverse bias of the PN junction diode acts like forward bias for the minority charge carriers. In PN junction diode, minority charge carriers are there. For those minority charge carriers, whatever the reverse bias acts like forward bias. That minority number very small, that's why we get very less current in the order of microamperes. If you see forward bias current, it is a milliamperes, quite large current. Reverse bias current is in microamperes, very small current due to minority carriers. Here it is mentioned that current measured in microamperes is due to majority. That is wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong. That is why the second statement fails. Only A is correct, B is incorrect. We will go for second option. Hope you understood. Next. Next question related to work energy power. It is under difficulty level. Why it is under difficulty level means generally medical students, they feel this calculus part, integration or differentiation, they feel somewhat difficulty. That is why it is put in difficulty level. When you see the question, at any instant of time t, the displacement of any particle is given by 2t minus 1 under the influence of a force of 5 Newton. The value of instantaneous power, they are asking about the instantaneous power. Displacement is mentioned, that is 2t minus 1, it is in SI units, means it is in meters. So displacement 2t minus 1 meters, it is a function of time, it is not a constant, it is changing with time. So it is the function of time. Once the displacement is function of time, either you have to apply either differentiation or integration. Anything is needed. And it is under the influence of a force of 5 Newton. You are given F, that is 5 Newton. 5 Newton is a constant value. So force is constant, displacement is variable. Under the action of this force, you have to find the instantaneous power. As we know, power can be represented as F bar dot V bar, that is F V cos theta. F V cos theta. Here, whatever the velocity, displacement, with the displacement, velocity, motion is there. That motion, that velocity is caused by force. Okay. Here, F bar and V bar are parallel. Motion is caused by force in the direction of the force. That is why F bar and V bar are parallel. So theta is equal to 0 degree. You can consider. So the power P is equal to simply F multiplied with V. What is that V? What is that velocity? When the displacement is like this, you will get the velocity V is equal to ds by dt on differentiation. Okay. That will be 2t minus 1 differentiation, means you will get 2 meter per second. So velocity is a constant value. It is not changing. It is fixed. Okay. So force is there, velocity is there. Substituting the values, force is 5 Newton and velocity is 2 meter per second, and you will get that power as 10 watt. SI unit means watt. This is the answer. Moving to the next question. Current electricity is a medium question because more steps are involved. Not difficulty, but more steps are involved. See the question. A wire of length L and a resistance 100 ohm is divided into 10 equal parts. See, there is a wire which has a length L with a resistance capital R is equal to 100 ohms given. Now it is divided into 10 parts which are equal parts. Okay. As resistance of any straight conductor is directly proportional to its length. We know that R proportional to L. R proportional to L. When it is cut, its resistance for each part decreases. See, 10 parts are there, in which 5 parts are in series. Okay. So when this is divided into 10 parts, what I consider for first 5 parts, for first 5 parts, in series, for first 5 parts in series, you can consider R1, that is 10 divided by 5. See, okay, the next question related to current electricity, it is a medium level question. Why it is medium? More number of steps are involved, that is why actually this is a simple question. So in the question, a wire of length L and a resistance 100 ohm is divided into 10 equal parts. So for each part you can take the resistance 10 parts, total 100 ohms, 10 parts. So each part resistance 100 divided by 10, you will get 10 ohms. Why? Because resistance is directly proportional to length, in which first 5 parts are connected in series. In series, 5 parts. In series, say R1, 5 parts are there. It becomes 5R. R1 5R means you will get 50 ohms for the series combination. Next, remaining 5 parts are connected in parallel. Remaining 5 parts are in parallel. So R2 in parallel means R by 5, because all the resistance are identical. It will be 10 divided by 5. You will get 2. Right? And further mentioned, these two combinations are again connected in series. These two are connected in series. These two are in series. Therefore, final resistance, if you write effective resistance in series means R1 plus R2, you will get 52 ohms. So this is 52. Now the next question, thermodynamics. It is also a medium level question. Why it is medium level? There is a small twist. If you don't read the question properly, you may put wrong answer. If you don't read the question properly, reading of the question is important. See, generally when we see this type of graphs, cyclic process, if you are asked to find the work done, simply you find the area of the loop, area of the cycle. Okay, rectangular shape is there, so length into breadth, simply you find that, but that is not the case here. Here the case is not that one. See, a thermodynamic system is taken through cycle ABCDA. This is the cycle ABCDA. Work done by the gas along the path BC, that is important. Only for one step they are asking. Only for one step they are asking. That is from B to C. B to C. If you see this B to C part, it is taking place at constant volume. This process B to C is taking place at constant volume. Constant volume means that is a isochoric process. We know isochoric process. B to C, isochoric process. Isochoric process means change in volume 0. At constant volume it is taking place dV 0. Change in volume dV 0. So, work done from B to C means pressure multiplied with change in volume. Okay, that will be 0. That will be 0. So, there is no work done from B to C. So, our answer is 0. Second option. Hope you understood. Next question from electromagnetism is also medium level question because it involves calculations. See the question. A tightly wound 100 turns coil of radius 10 centimeter carries a current of 7 ampere. The magnitude of the magnetic field at the center of the coil. There is a coil having certain number of turns. At the center, we are asked to find the magnetic field when there is current flowing through the coil. Magnetic field at the center, we have the relation mu naught Ni divided by 2R. Mu naught Ni by 2R. Mu naught value already given 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. Whether they give or not, that mu naught value we have to take 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. And here n represents the number of turns. Number of turns is given 100. Current I, that current is given 7 amperes. 7 divided by 2 into radius of the coil 10 centimeter given. See, 10 centimeter. So 10 by 100 in meters. Okay. Now simplify this one. This 2 in this 4 2 times. So 2 into. You can write pi value 22 by 7 for easy calculation. Here 110 cancel. This 10 goes to numerator 1000. 1000 10 power minus 7 minus 4 into 7 is there. This 7 gets cancelled. So we have 44. 44 into 10 power minus 4 Tesla. You can write it as 4.4 millitesla. Right? 4.4 millitesla, fourth one. Next question, current electricity. The terminal voltage of the battery whose EMF is 10 volts and internal resistance is 1 ohm when connected through an external resistance of 4 ohm as shown in the figure is, we are asked to find the terminal PD. Terminal PD, terminal voltage, terminal PD, terminal voltage, potential difference across the terminals of the cell. Potential difference across the terminals of the cell. As there is only one single cell, only one cell is there. In discharge of a cell. Discharge means current has to flow in the direction from positive to negative outside the cell. Out of the cell, current direction is from positive terminal to negative terminal. That is the discharge of the cell. So during the discharge of the cell, we can write EMF E is equal to potential difference V plus I into small r. Small r is the internal resistance. Now that V is equal to E minus IR. As there is only one resistance, whatever the potential difference across this 4 ohm, is the potential difference across the terminals of the cell. When there is a single resistance, potential difference across 4 ohms and potential difference across the terminals of the cell is same. So, this V here and here is same. That is what terminal PD, terminal voltage. Okay. Now, we are having the 10 volts. We are having the 10 volts E and small r is there 1 ohm. We have to find what is this I. Okay. While finding that I, use the same relation as E is equal to V plus IR. V means I into capital R plus I into small r. You will have E is equal to I into capital R plus small r. So, you can find I is equal to E divided by capital R plus small r. So, what is that I? 10 divided by, that will be 4 plus 1, 5. So, it is 2 amperes. The current value in the circuit is 2 amperes, substitute of that 2 amperes here. So, you will get the terminal PD V is equal to 10 minus, that is 2 into internal resistance is given 1. So, you will get V is equal to 8 volts. V is equal to 8 volts. Next one, this is motion in 2 dimension. This question is from motion in 2 dimension, motion in a plane. It is a direct question, conceptual question. A particle moving with uniform speed in a circular path maintains, see, circular path of the particle. It is a basic question. Center of the circle is here, center of the circle is here. Particle is moving on the circumference of the circle. At any moment when the particle is here, at any moment when the particle is here, its velocity is along the tangential direction like this, V bar. Velocity we have to see both magnitude and direction. Speed, no need to consider direction, only magnitude. Velocity, both magnitude and direction that you have to see. Even in the case of acceleration also, acceleration vector, velocity vector, acceleration vector. So, for the velocity and acceleration we have to see the direction also along with the magnitude. While taking the speed, no need to consider direction, only magnitude. All the discussion is from the options. All the discussion is taken from the options. See the options. A particle moving with uniform speed. Uniform speed means magnitude of this velocity fixed, constant in a circular path. First option, varying velocity and varying acceleration. Varying velocity, varying acceleration. That means varying in magnitude, varying in direction, or varying in both magnitude and direction. Varying in magnitude, varying in direction, varying in both magnitude and direction. Both velocity and acceleration, because they are vectors. So, velocity is the vector. Acceleration is also the vector. Both magnitude and direction we have to see. Next, constant velocity given. While moving in the circle, they are telling constant velocity, constant acceleration, constant velocity but varying acceleration. Okay. Now, see, while moving in the circle, at a moment when the particle is here, its velocity is like this. Okay. After some time, velocity will be like this, tangential. Velocity on the circumference of the circle along the tangential direction. Okay. Here the magnitude of velocity and here the magnitude of velocity is same, because it is moving with uniform speed. Magnitude of velocity is same. Direction, when you see here in this direction, here in this direction, direction changing from point to point, right. For a vector, magnitude remains same. When the direction changes, that quantity changes. So, velocity is changing, velocity is not constant. And further, in the circular motion, acceleration. With the uniform speed, whatever the acceleration, that is a centripetal acceleration. We write it as AC. Centripetal acceleration. Centripetal acceleration towards the center. When the particle is here, centripetal acceleration like this. When the particle is here, centripetal acceleration is like this. When the particle is here, centripetal acceleration towards the center like this, direction of velocity like this. So, here what happens? point to point direction of velocity changing, point to point direction of acceleration changing, but no change in the magnitude. Even there is no change in the magnitude, as the direction is changing, they come under variable quantities. So, varying velocity and varying acceleration, that option will be the right one. So, basic concept. Right. The next question related to surface tension. Mechanical properties of the fluids, surface tension. It's a direct formula question. A thin flat circular disc of radius 4.5 centimeter is placed gently over the surface of water. If the surface tension of water is 0.07, the surface tension of water we consider as capital T, surface tension. Then the excess force required to take it away from the surface. What is the extra force required to take it away from the surface? We are given the radius, capital R, 4.5 centimeters, right. Now see, suppose this is a container, in the container there is a liquid, on the free surface of the liquid there is a circular disc, on the free surface of the liquid there is circular disc. When the disc is on the surface, that liquid molecules attracting that disc, liquid molecules attracting that disc. When you move this disc away from the surface, when you move the disc away from the surface, the liquid molecules which are at the contact, tries to pull that disc in the downward direction with their surface tension. With the surface tension they are pulling. Surface tension is the property which tries to decrease the area, surface area. Here what happens when you are lifting the disc, you try to move the molecules of the liquid so that there is an increase in area. Against that increase in area, those molecules try to pull the disc in the downward direction. That is why whatever the lifting force you have to apply, what they are telling? Excess force. Excess force means actually this disc is having the weight, that is natural. They are not asking about the total force, they are asking about the excess force. Excess force means other than the weight, how much extra force that is needed to lift that disc. So, in such a case, force due to surface tension. There is a force due to surface tension, Ft, acting in the downward direction. This force due to surface tension means surface tension into L. Force due to surface tension multiplied with L. What is that L? Length on which the surface tension acting. Length on which the surface tension force is acting, that is circumference of the disc. There is a circular disc, on the circumference there is surface tension force. That is why T into 2 pi r, right. So, Ft is equal to T, we are given with T 0.07, 2. For simple calculation, you write pi as 22/7 and r 4.5 into 10 power minus 2. This is 0.01 and you will get the answer. So, Ft is equal to how much you will get? 19.8 millinewton. 19.8 millinewton. You will get this answer. So, you have to be careful while putting the decimal point. You have to be careful. Next, this is quite easy question from units and dimensions. The quantities which have the same dimensions as those of solid angle. Solid angle is the quantity without any units, without any dimensions. Solid angle is the quantity without any dimensions. Okay, unit is there, steradian. Unit is there, steradian, but no dimensions. No dimensions. Among the given options, we have to identify the pair without dimensions. Angular speed and stress, we know they are having. Strain and angle. Strain and angle means possible. Stress and angle not possible. Strain and arc. Okay. Arc means arc length. Arc means arc length. Arc length means it is length. It is having dimension. So, having dimension, having dimension. No dimension, no dimension. Having dimension, no dimension. No dimension, having dimension. That's why our option will be 2. The next question taken from semiconductors related to logic gates. Related to logic gates. Here given the truth table. Following the truth table, we have to find the logic. For that why? For that why, what is the logic? Okay. Simply looking at the logic gate, you can find the answer. You can find the answer. That will be one of the option definitely. Definitely this table giving one value, one answer. Okay. If any other thing is possible, that will be another answer. This answer is must. Okay, what is that answer? See, A, B are given inputs. For A, values are like this. For B, values are like this. Now see, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. That means inversion of B is nothing but Y. Inversion of B is nothing but Y. So just by looking at the table, we can identify this is inversion of Y is the inversion of B. Okay, inversion of B, B bar given, right? So that will be definitely an answer. Directly you can put the answer for this. Hope you understood. Next question, electric potential and capacitors. It's a medium question, concept based. A thin spherical shell is charged by some source. The potential difference between the 2 points C and P. See, locate where the points. The point C here, center of the shell, and another point on the surface of the shell. P point is on the surface, C is the center. We have to find the potential difference. Okay. In case of a spherical shell, that is important. In case of a spherical shell, potential on the surface, V on the surface, potential at any inside point, potential at the center, all are same. Because there is no field inside. Inside a charged spherical shell, there is no field. That means the electric field intensity is 0. We have the relation E is equal to minus dV by dr. There is a relation between electric field intensity and potential. So, E is equal to minus dV by dr, which is 0 inside a spherical shell. That is inside a spherical shell. That means V is constant. Potential is constant. Potential constant means potential on the surface is same as potential inside, and also potential at the center, because center is also inside point. Okay. So, whatever the potential on the surface, same as inside, and also at the center, all are same. Here we are asked to find the potential difference, not the potential. It is not the potential, it is the potential difference between C and P. So, potential at C Vc, potential at P Vp, potential difference PD, Vc minus Vp. Vc minus Vp, as they are same, that value will become 0. Nothing to do, conceptual. Next question related to atoms. These type of questions you will find in chemistry also. Matching question. You are asked to find the wavelength of the spectral lines for the given transitions in hydrogen atom, right? We know 1 by lambda in Bohr's theory. To find the wavelength of the characteristic spectral line, 1 by lambda is equal to capital R Rydberg constant into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. This relation is enough to find that lambda, because it is for the hydrogen. So, 1 by lambda is equal to capital R into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. If you see all n1 values 2, all cases n1 values are 2. Transition is taking place into second orbit. Okay. From the higher orbits, see n2 values above that 3, 4, 5, 6 given. So, that means whatever the transitions given, these are belonging to Balmer series. Balmer series is in visible range. Okay. So, visible spectrum, we get the visible spectrum. Just use this relation to find these values. Okay. You will get the answer. Simple. You will get third one. Yes, that is the formula enough, but calculation is needed. 4 times you have to calculate, 4 times you have to calculate, that is why it is kept in difficulty level. Now, coming to next question, magnetism and matter. It is a theory based question. You are given the material in the list 1, susceptibility in the second one, second list. You are given different materials, dia, ferro, para, non-magnetic. Okay. They are asking about the susceptibility, right? There is a relation in the magnetism and matter. We have the relation relative permeability is equal to susceptibility plus 1. This is the relation, standard relation we have. Mu r is equal to xi plus 1. Mu r is equal to xi plus 1. Now, see, for a diamagnetic material, mu r less than 1. For a diamagnetic material, mu r less than 1. That means, for a diamagnetic material, you will get that susceptibility negative. You will get the susceptibility negative. So, this is for this one, A and 2. Ferromagnetic, mu r far greater than 1. Ferromagnetic, mu r value far greater than 1. So, you will get the chi value far greater than 1. And paramagnetic, mu r around 1. Mu r nearly 1, around 1. So you can see this one. Non-magnetic chi value 0. Here there should be 0. There should be 0. So for non-magnetic, it cannot be magnetized. It cannot be magnetized means it cannot get susceptibility, right? Chi value 0. So you will have second option. Next one, it is related to work energy power, particularly collisions. Related to collisions, two bodies A and B of same mass undergo completely inelastic and one-dimensional collision. The body A moves with velocity v1 while the body B is at rest before collision. The velocity of the system after collisions is v2. The ratio v1 is to v2. Actually, this is a one-dimensional completely inelastic means you will get the common velocity. In completely one-dimensional inelastic, you will get the common velocity. What is the equation for the common velocity? m1 u1 plus m2 u2 divided by m1 plus m2 if the bodies are moving in the same direction before collision. But here the second one is at rest, B is at rest, right? So common velocity Vc, that is equal to two bodies are having the same mass m into first one velocity v1 plus second one velocity 0 divided by m plus m, you will get 2m. So common velocity is equal to v1 divided by 2, that is given v2. That common velocity they mentioned the velocity of the system after collision v2, that means common velocity they mentioned v2. Now what you have to find? v1 is to v2. So v1 by v2, you will get 2 by 1, 2 is to 1. Next one, it is also related to atoms. This is the second question from atoms. Second question comes from atoms. Statement 1. Atoms are electrically neutral as they contain equal number of positive and negative charges. That is 100% correct. There is a correct one. Next, statement 2. Atoms of each element are stable and emit their characteristic spectrum. Atomic spectrum is the characteristic spectrum that we know. Atoms of each element are stable. Atoms of each element are stable. Actually, if the atoms are stable, there should not be any molecules. If the atoms are really stable, there is no need of molecule. Formation of bonds. Atoms, atoms, bonding, forming the molecule. There is no need of molecules. There is no formation of bonds. So atoms of each element are stable and emit their characteristic spectrum. Now see, in the light of above statements, that is important, we strictly confine to these two statements only. Beyond that, don't think. Beyond that, don't think. Okay. In the light of the above two statements, choose the most appropriate answer. Most appropriate answer only from these two statements. Don't go beyond that. Okay. No deeper thinking required. Atoms are electrically neutral as they contain equal number of positive and negative charges. That is correct. They are not ions. There is no positive charge or negative charge for the atoms. In such a case, atoms are stable. In such a case, atoms are stable. Okay. And emit their characteristic spectrum. So, in view of the statement 1, statement 2 is also the correct one. So, both statements are correct. Both statements are correct. Next question, oscillations. you are given in equation, standard equation, x is equal to 5 sin pi t plus pi by 3. You can write that equation as simply x is equal to a sin omega t plus pi by 3. It is a standard form, omega t plus phi. Omega t plus phi is the standard form, right? Represents the motion of a particle executing simple harmonic motion, the amplitude and time period of the motion. Amplitude and time period, compare. Simply you can compare A, in the place of A amplitude 5 meters. One part is over. And the time period, omega, compare omega. Omega is equal to pi. Omega is equal to actually 2 pi by capital T is equal to pi. Pi gets cancelled, capital T is equal to 2 seconds. These are the two. 5 meter and 2 seconds. 5 meter and 2 seconds here. Again, another question from semiconductors. We are given with a logic gate. We are asked to find what is the output gate, what is the total gate. Right. While solving this type of questions, better to follow truth table. Take a truth table for the given logic gates. What are the inputs A and B? The inputs are A and B. So, A, B. How can we take the combinations? How can we take the combinations? A, one value 0, okay, B value 0. Next possibility, 0, 1 or 1, 0 and 1, 0, 1, 1. These are the possibilities we know. The first gate you see, this gate, it is a NAND gate. NAND, and plus not, NAND gate. NAND gate means you can write A and B followed by A and B inversion. This is what you can take it as x, some x, right? And the next gate you see, it is a NOR gate, the lower one, NOR gate. NOR gate means it is A or B inversion, that is some y, okay. Now this x and y are the inputs, x and y are the inputs. This is giving x, this is giving y, this x and y are the inputs for this one, right. Final. As x, y, instead of x and y, say it is p, q. This is P, this is P and this is Q, right. This is P and this is Q because here y given. Now what about the final y? What about that final result y? Okay, y is equal to, that is a NOR gate, that means P or Q inversion, right. So whatever the gate given, for that you draw a truth table with the input values A and B. Now see, in the first step 0 and 0, sorry, here A and A, just a moment, here A and A and A and A inversion. This is B or B inversion, okay. Both the inputs for this P are A and A, for this B and B, that's it. So 0 and 0, 0, 0 and 0, 0, 1 and 1, 1, 1 and 1, 1 for the A values. 0 and 0, you will get 0, 1. 0 and 0, 0, you will get 1. 1 and 1, you will get 1, 0, inversion. 1 and 1, 1, inversion, 0. Coming to B, 0 or 0, 0, 0, inversion 1. 1 or 1, you will get 1, inversion 0. 0 or 0, 0, inversion 1. 1 or 1, 1, inversion 0. Now see, finally, 1 or 1, you will get 1, inversion 0. 1 or 0, 1 or 0, you will get 1, inversion 0. 0 or 1, you will get 1, inversion 0. 0 or 0, you will get 0, inversion is 1. So, you are getting the final output as 0, 0, 0, 1. This is the output form of AND gate. This is the output form of AND gate. That is it. Next question, units and measurements related to vernier calipers, measuring devices. Okay. Now, in this vernier calipers, n plus 1 divisions missing, n is missing there. N plus 1 divisions of vernier scale coincide with n divisions of main scale. N plus 1 divisions of vernier scale coinciding with n divisions of main scale. If one main scale division is 0.1 millimeter, the vernier constant. We know vernier constant. Vernier constant or least count. Vernier constant or least count, LC, we call it as LC. That is one main scale division divided by number of vernier divisions. Number of vernier divisions. Here one main scale division is given 0.1 millimeter, but you are asked to write in centimeter. So, it will be 0.01 centimeter. 0.1 millimeter, in centimeters it is 0.01 centimeter divided by number of vernier divisions. Number of vernier divisions is given n plus 1. So, you will get 1 by 100 into n plus 1. Third one. So, come to the next question. Motion in a plane. Already we have seen one question in circular motion and another question, same circular motion. A bob is whirled in a horizontal plane by means of a string with an initial speed omega rpm. The tension in the string is capital T. If the speed becomes 2 omega, while keeping the same radius, the tension in the string becomes. Now see the circular path. The circular path followed by the bob when attached to a string and whirled in the horizontal circle. It is revolving like this. It is revolving like this. For this circular motion, centripetal force is required, CPF, centripetal force, that is provided by tension. That is provided by tension. So, whatever the centripetal force required in this circular path, that is in the form of tension. So, what I can write, tension T is equal to m r omega square, m r omega square. That is the relation, we know, mv square by r, mv square by r, or m r omega square. This is the tension. Now, what is given? Speed becomes 2 omega, in the place of omega, 2 omega. Okay. What is the new tension? What is the new tension? Keeping the radius same, right? In the second case, T dash m r it is 2 omega whole square. So T dash is equal to 4 times m r omega square, that is 4t. You will get 4t. Tension becomes 4 times. It's a direct question. Next one, dual nature. If c is the velocity of light in free space, the correct statements about the photon among the following. Photon, energy particle. Photon means energy particle. It is a completely theory, basic questions, basic concepts. The energy of the photon is capital E is equal to h nu, that is correct. The velocity of the photon is c, that means photons travel with the speed of light. Photons travel with the speed of light, and the energy of the photon, quantization of energy, Planck's quantum theory. From that E is equal to h nu, that is also correct. Momentum of the photon P, actually it is M.Sc. Actually it is M.Sc. You can write it as M.Sc square by C. Okay? M.Sc square by C. M.Sc square means energy, E divided by C, and further energy means h nu by C. You are getting like that. And D. Next one is D. In a photon electron collision, both total energy and total momentum are conserved. Photon and electron means fundamental particles. Collisions between the fundamental particles are perfectly elastic. Collisions between fundamental particles are perfectly elastic. Perfectly elastic means conservation of linear momentum is there, conservation of kinetic energy is there, and conservation of energy is also there. So this is also correct. A correct, B correct, C correct, D correct. Photon possess positive charge. This is wrong one. There is no charge. There is no charge. It is energy particle. It has no charge. Okay. So only A, B, C, D. Next question, electromagnetic induction. Related to Lenz's law. This question, to answer, we have to use Lenz's law. What Lenz's law tells? The direction of the induced EMF or induced current opposes the cause that produces it, the reason that produces it. What is the reason in electromagnetic induction to produce induced EMF or induced current? A change in magnetic flux. We know that. Change in the magnetic flux is the reason for electromagnetic induction or in the production of induced EMF or induced current. Okay, change in the magnetic flux. To oppose the change in the magnetic flux, that means if the flux increases, induced EMF opposes the increase in flux. If the flux decreases, induced EMF opposes the decrease in flux. Increase in flux is opposed, decrease in flux is opposed by the induced EMF or induced current. That is what Lenz's law. Okay. Now here we are given a situation. There are two coils, solenoid 1 and solenoid 2, and a bar magnet between them. And that is in motion, moving. Okay. In the above diagram, a strong bar magnet is moving towards solenoid 2. Okay. Strong bar magnet means which can influence. Strong magnet influences. Bar magnet is moving towards solenoid 2 from the solenoid 1. The direction of the induced current in solenoid 1 and that in solenoid 2 are respectively. What is the direction of the current? Here given the points ends A, B and C, D like that. Now see, the point is when this bar magnet is moving towards the second one, it is moving away from the first one. Simultaneously moving away from the first one, coming towards the second one. That is the case. Okay. Now take the first solenoid. Bar magnet is moving away, means the flux attached, the flux linked with the solenoid 1 is decreasing. The flux linked with the solenoid is decreasing. Now due to the decrease in flux, current is developed in this solenoid is in such a way that it has to oppose that decrease. Opposing the decrease of flux, opposing the decreasing of flux means opposing movement of the magnet away. The decrease in flux is due to movement of the magnet away. So opposing the decrease in flux means opposing the motion of the magnet away. Opposing the magnet of the motion of the magnet away means it has to attract. The second coil has to attract the bar magnet against moving away, right? In order to attract, the current is developed, induced current is developed in the solenoid one, in the turns, in the coil, is in such a way that it has to develop a south pole on the face of the solenoid towards this north pole. If south pole is developed here, north pole on this side automatically, okay. South pole is developed on this side means it can attract north pole. It opposes the motion of the magnet away, right? So, to develop the south pole, okay, here the north pole, direction of the magnetic field from south to north inside the solenoid, inside the coil, inside a bar magnet, magnetic field direction is from south to north. So, if you take the direction like this, right hand thumb rule, if you take the direction of the current like this, current is like this, magnetic field is like this. If the current is like this, magnetic field is like this, okay. But here to develop south pole on the nearer end to this north pole, it has to develop magnetic field like this inside south to north, okay. So, current is like this means it will be like this, it will be like this, that means A to B, that we can understand, A to B. See here A to B given, in this fourth option also A to B given. Avoid these two, avoid this one, okay. You can avoid these two options, right, remaining two. So, in the remaining two, what we can see? Now, that A to be decided. Now, as the magnet is moving towards the second coil, flux is increasing. When the flux is increasing, it has to oppose. It has to oppose means it has to develop a south pole. It has to oppose means it has to develop a south pole. So, a south pole is developed here. So, that repulsion is there. Right? Repulsion is there means here C and D, south pole is coming, south pole is developed and north pole on the other side, right. Inside the coil, field direction is from south to north, inside south to north. So, this side north and this side south, and current direction, and the current direction should be like this. See my fingers, should be like this, means like this, arrow should be like this. C to D, sorry, D to C, not C to D, it is D to C, arrow, look at there, D to C. So, the second option will be the right one. So, strictly we have to follow Lenz's law and the direction of the magnetic field, right. Conceptual question, clear conceptual question, hope you understood. Now, coming to the next one, electric potential and capacitors. Already we have seen one question, electric potential. Again another question. Given below are the two statements, one is labeled as assertion and the other one is labeled as reason. Okay, assertion. The potential V at any axial point at 2 meter distance from the center of the dipole of dipole moment vector P bar of magnitude 4 into 10 power minus 6 coulomb meter is plus or minus 9 into 10 power 3 volts. Reason V is equal to 2p by 4 pi epsilon naught r square, where r is the distance of any axial point situated at 2 meter. This is given, axial point, here also axial point, right. Due to dipole at any point on the axis, axial point, we have the relation 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p divided by r square. This is the relation. Electric potential due to dipole at any point on the axis of the dipole at a distance r from the center of the dipole. This is the equation, right. see the reason, these two are not the same. So, reason is false, reason is false. If you know this formula, you can identify this one is wrong. If you know this formula, you can identify this one is wrong. So, R is false, only one option is there. So, fourth one is correct. A is true because there is no both false. There is no both false, A and R are false, that is not there. Okay. So, we can check whether A is true or not. We can check whether assertion is true or not using this formula. You have to use this formula, not this one. Okay. See, V on the axis 9 into 10 power 9, 9 into 10 power 9, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value. P is given 4 into 10 power minus 6 by R square, 2 square. Okay, 2 square. 4 cancel, you will get 9. So, 9 into 10 power 3, that is correct. That is correct. Okay, this one is right. So, A is true, R is false. See the next question related to gravitation. This is also direct question. Mass of a planet is 1 by 10th of the earth, that of the earth, and the diameter is half of that of the earth. These are the major points. Acceleration due to gravity on that planet, already we know. Acceleration due to gravity based on the mass of the planet and radius of the planet is like small g is equal to gm by r square. Okay. Now, coming to another planet, Gp, g into m by 10 divided by radius is r by 2. Diameter half means radius also half. You will get 4 here, denominator here 10, 4 by 10. 4 by 10 g m by r square. This is the value of g on earth. This is the value of g on earth, and the g value on earth is 9.8 we take meter per second square, because in the options you can identify 9.8. So, 4 by 10 into 9.8, you will get 3.92 meter per second square, first option. This is also simple question. As calculation is involved, I am putting this one in medium. Coming to the next question. In an ideal transformer, the turns ratio NP by NS is given. NP by NS is given, then ratio Vs is to Vp. Actually, transformer ratio is there. We have transformer ratio. Transformer ratio means NS by NP, number of turns in the secondary by number of turns in the primary. That is the transformer ratio. Based on this transformer ratio, we can tell whether it is a step up transformer or step down transformer. Step up or step down transformer. Here you are given NP by NS. It is NS by NP, that is 2. That is equal to 1 by 2 means inverse ratio 2. And this is Vs by Vp. Vs by Vp. Okay. So, Vs by Vp will be 2:1. Direct question. Next, theory question. Theory question. Wave optics. In the class also regularly we discuss this question. So, direct question. Monochromatic source in Young's double slit experiment is replaced by white light source. Monochromatic source is replaced by white light source. Okay, composite light. Then central fringe is bright. Which is white. Okay, central fringe, white fringe with few colored fringes on either side. with few colored fringes on either side. So, this is the fourth one, no other choice.